Some battles aren't fought with fists. Some enemies don't fall because you shout louder or prove you're stronger. What if I told you the real victory comes from something almost no one understands? A weapon so quiet, so invisible, it can unravel your enemies without a single word spoken? In a world addicted to noise, drama, and reaction, there's a hidden force that can make you untouchable. A force that flips the entire game and leaves your enemies powerless. By the end of this video, you won't see conflict the same way again. You'll discover how to rise above every attack, how to turn the tables without throwing a punch, and how to reach a level of calm and control that breaks every chain. But beware, this path isn't for the faint of heart. The transformation I'm about to share will challenge everything you thought you knew about power, control, and victory. Stay with me until the final moments, because what comes next could change the way you handle your enemies forever. Let's get into it. Part 1. Stop playing their game. Your enemy wants one thing above all: your reaction. They don't need to beat you physically. They just want to drag you into the mud, where you start swinging wildly, saying things you'll regret, acting from emotion instead of intention. The moment you respond emotionally, they've already won. You're no longer thinking or in control. You've stepped into their arena, where chaos is their home turf. They don't care about truth or fairness. They only want control over your energy, your time, your peace. If they can bait you, make you defend, justify, or prove yourself, you're dancing to their tune. Here's the truth. Some enemies are better at manipulation than you are at retaliation. They know your weak spots. They want to see you sweat, rant, and lose your cool, because it means you're still emotionally hooked. But here's your power move. Refuse to play. When you disengage, when you don't bite the bait, when you don't show a single ounce of emotional energy, you choke them out without lifting a finger. Because the worst punishment for someone who thrives on attention is becoming invisible to the one they tried to provoke. Silence isn't weakness. Silence is strategy. When you withdraw mentally and emotionally, when you stay grounded and calm, you rob them of their favorite weapon, your reactivity. Think like a Stoic warrior. Power isn't about who shouts the loudest. It's about who stays calm in the storm. Detachment is your sword. So next time someone comes for your peace, remember, you don't have to prove anything. You don't have to fight their war. You win by walking away with your power intact. The most dangerous man isn't the one who fights back. It's the one who no longer needs to. Let me illustrate this with a story. Years ago, there was a man, a leader, a quiet force, who faced relentless attacks from rivals. They tried to provoke him with lies, insults, and constant badgering. But he never responded. He never stooped to their level. His enemies grew frustrated. Their words bounced off his calm like stones off a mountain. One by one, they lost their energy, their grip, and eventually their influence. Meanwhile, the man kept building, kept leading, kept growing. The lesson? Never give your enemy what they want most, your reaction. Silence is not surrender. It's the calm before your rise. Part 2. Let time expose their lies. The truth doesn't need a defense team. It doesn't shout, beg, or demand attention. It waits, because time is the sharpest blade, and it cuts through every lie. When someone tries to destroy you with deceit, twisting facts, spreading rumors, weaponizing your past, your first instinct might be to defend yourself, to clear your name, to correct the record, to prove them wrong. But here's the catch. The more energy you spend defending yourself, the guiltier you look. The louder you scream, the more people wonder what you're hiding. It's a trap, a psychological setup to make you self-destruct in public. Listen closely. Your enemies want you to panic, to react like a cornered animal, because while you scramble to fix your image, they're standing back, enjoying the chaos. But if you sit still, if you say nothing, if you let time do its work, the lies unravel on their own. Liars can fake stories, but they can't fake consistency. Over time, cracks appear. Details don't add up. Contradictions slip out, and those they fooled will start to doubt them. You don't need to attack or explain. Just wait. When you act with integrity, when you walk in truth, you have something your enemy doesn't. Evidence built over time. Your life speaks louder than any accusation. Let them lie. Let them run their mouths. Let their fake empire stand on shaky ground. Because eventually gravity does its job. When the collapse comes, it won't be loud. It'll be quiet. It'll be obvious. And you'll still be standing. Here's a real-world example. Think of the great whistleblowers, the truth-tellers who faced character assassination campaigns. At first, their enemies spread lies, destroyed reputations, and tried to silence them. But time showed the truth. Eventually, their lies crumbled, the public saw the facts, and those liars were exposed. That's the power of time on your side. Remember, reputation is long-term. Reactions are short-term. Win the long game. When you're rooted in truth, you don't chase every lie. You give it time and let the truth rise. Part 3. Become unreachable. There's a secret your enemies fear. You don't have to be available to be powerful. The less reachable you are, the more control you have. Power isn't about how fast you reply, how loud you shout, or how much you react. It's about how unshakable you become. Your enemies want access to you. They want to push your buttons, rattle your peace. If they find a way in, through your emotions, your ego, they win a silent war. But what if you made yourself untouchable? What if you built walls? Not from anger or bitterness, but calm, deliberate detachment. Walls they can't climb or see past. When you become unreachable, you deny them what they crave most. Your time, your energy, your reaction. They send messages you don't answer. They try to provoke, you stay silent. They want you to be predictable, available, angry, desperate. But instead, you become the ghost in the room. Here's the kicker. When you withdraw without explanation, don't react, explain, or defend. You leave them confused, frustrated, powerless. You turn the tables without lifting a finger. Becoming unreachable isn't being cold or cruel. It's protecting your inner fortress. Choosing peace over chaos. Choosing yourself over their drama. You might think it means losing people or burning bridges. But truth is, those who matter won't need you everywhere all the time. And those who want to drag you into battle don't deserve a front row seat in your life. So step back, lower your visibility. Become a calm shadow no one can shake. You're not hiding, you're winning. Because power isn't fighting fire with fire. It's being the fire they can never touch. Consider the analogy of a great mountain. It doesn't respond to storms, it doesn't scream back at thunder. It simply stands, silent and immovable, knowing that no tempest lasts forever. You want to be that mountain. Part 4. Starve them of what they crave most, your attention. Attention is currency. And your enemy? They're broke. They don't want peace. They want a show, drama, a spectacle where they're center stage, and you're the puppet on their strings. But here's the quiet truth they don't want you to see. Silence is a sharper weapon than any punch. Cold, surgical, unbothered silence. When you stop giving them your attention, refuse to acknowledge their existence, lies, insults, you make them invisible. And nothing hurts an insecure person more than being ignored by the one they tried to hurt. Let them talk. Let them mock. Throw their bait, online, in person, in whispers. You don't bite. Why? Because you've outgrown defending your name. You've moved beyond proving yourself. Now you focus on something else. Becoming the name they can't stop talking about. Don't show anger or frustration. Show them you're too busy. Building. Evolving. Outgrowing. Remember, attention is your most expensive asset. Every second reacting is investing in their game. Stop giving discounts to those who don't deserve it. Master strategic silence. Control the battlefield by choosing what deserves your energy and what doesn't. You're not ignoring weakness, you're preserving your strength. You're not running away, you're leveling up. So starve them of their currency. Hold your silence like a shield. Because when they realize you've taken back what they wanted most, your attention, that's when they truly lose. Part 5. Kill them with unshakable peace. Inner peace is the new currency. In a world obsessed with chaos, drama, and revenge, true power is calm no one can shake. What do you give someone who hurt you? Not anger, not revenge, not even hate. You give them peace, your peace. A peace that speaks louder than words. Saying without saying, I saw what you did. I saw your attempt to break me. And I still chose to rise. Without dragging you down with me. This is the ultimate destruction. Not with fists or fire, but by showing the one thing they feared most. You were never theirs to control. You never folded. You never begged for their approval. You didn't waste time proving them wrong. You simply transcended. Marcus Aurelius said it best. The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. Your enemies expected war. They wanted chaos. They wanted to see you broken. Instead, you give them peace. That silence they hate. That calm they envy. That power they can never touch. That's the victory they never saw coming. So next time someone tries to drag you into their storm, remember this. You don't have to fight fire with fire. You don't have to stoop to their level. You don't have to prove anything. You win by walking away, by transforming yourself into a fortress of silence, truth, and peace. Become the man they can't control. Become the man who wins without fighting. Because the greatest power isn't strength or anger. It's unshakable peace.